I have a confession to make. I bifurcated again. And I
Wait, does that mean he now has like 16 GPUs? How many GPU? Wait, you'd only be able to get up to 14, right? Because he has 7 slots if you could bifurcate all 7 slots.
know what you're thinking. Felix, did you split your PCIe lane so you can fit 2 GPUs again? Yes. But so what? Because what I didn't say in my last video, when I got the BIOS from the random stranger online so I could bifurcate, what I didn't say was all the lanes were bifurcatable. I can bifurcate as many times as I want. It's legal. I bifurcated again. 9 GPUs for mortal men doomed to die.
Just one more. One more.
10 GPUs. So what am I gonna do with all this space? I can fit my whole foot in there. What am I gonna do? A foot holder? I had to do it. I had to do
He's going to 16, isn't he? All right, for those that haven't been keeping up, this is the PewDiePie. Stop using AI right now. All right, and here we go. We are going to have a bunch of GPUs, and he's probably going to show us all sorts of great things to be doing with models. I've heard story after story. Apparently, there's a battle royale of some sort. There is. It seems fantastic. So we're gonna find out. I have not watched it. I'm so excited.
I had to do it, man. Surely you will understand. Now I know what you're thinking. Again, Felix, what are you gonna do with all of that? 6 dimensions. I am going to play Minecraft in 6 dimensions. I realize that I have a tendency, and maybe you can relate to this as well, of setting a goal without any regard for, is this a good idea?
That's really all you need to do. You know, I have a trick, okay? I have a trick, which I've been doing a lot lately, which is I tell myself it's going to be easy, and then I do something like this, which is I want to create my own GitHub. And I tell myself this because I just keep being like, it's going to be easy. It's not a problem. It's going to be simple. It's going to be straightforward. I don't want to use an off-the-shelf solution.
Do I really want to do this? What is the point of doing this?
I live on delusion.
I just really wanted to max out my computer, and that became like a weird obsession. But here I am, and I finished my computer because I know what you're thinking. Felix, did you add a 4090? Those run on 475 watts. Are you crazy? You can't do that. You don't have that kind of power consumption. I can I can undervolt it, you stupid bitch. The performance is negligible.
Oh, this is so good. This is what I've needed to watch. Damn it, I cannot believe I'm in love with an adult man.
The last couple percentages, it's fine. Now that we got all that out of the way. What have I actually been doing with this computer? I've been doing protein folding simulations. That's right. I knew I could rent out my computing power and make money that way. But that's for shablozos. Protein folding simulation is where it's at. Basically, scientists need to run these protein simulations for their studies. It helps them better understand different diseases, but it takes a lot of computing power. So you or me can help doing that and spreading that out. So basically having like a mini data center, it can actually make a big help. So I've been running that overnight whenever I can, and it's been really fun to climb the leaderboards. That's really all I care about, Charity. Leaderboards. We're going. Obviously, I'm just joking, but it sounds.
Is he joking? Is he joking? You know, there's a reason why there's a leaderboard. Right? There is a reason why the leaderboard exists. Is because there's a bunch of people that are like, well, I mean, I can't be below top 1,000. Like, that would be ridiculous. I got all these computers. I got to be at least top 1,000.
Obviously, I'm just joking, but it sounds, first of all, I get it. It sounds like a scam. It sounds like I'm patting myself on the back while someone is getting rich off crypto. That's not the case. I've looked into this. It is 100% legit, and it's been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
I just never heard about it for some reason. It seems like maybe you think they're paying me or something, but I genuinely just think this is very cool. And get the best part, I've made a team, so you guys can join in. You don't need a beast computer to do this. And if anything, it really shows how a lot of people come together. You can make a big difference. And it's a very cool flex to say that your computer has supported cancer research or Alzheimer's and other diseases. So please consider joining the team, Team Pewds, and get this, the team number that was randomly generated.
Yeah.
You're never gonna guess it.
426.9.
Okay, 10,669,66. God gave us that number. God gave us that number.
It's true.
Grab your CPU and GPU and let's fold protein together. If you have some time later today, spend 30 minutes and set it up. I've been aiming for top 0.1%. Let's get folding. Me and Marcia have been planning to go to Sweden next month, and there's so much involved with tickets and where to stay, and then it's a 12-hour flight back to
eSIM? Are we about to get hit with an eSIM?
Sweden, even though it's direct now, which is amazing. But the worst part is trying to find out, how do I get internet? You cannot travel abroad without internet. That's a terrible idea.
Oh, what if he uses Saley? Do you think he uses Saley? I heard Saley is really good.
Done it. Don't do it. And I always dreaded it because signing up to rent the Wi-Fi after a long flight is the least thing you want to do. Having to worry about when you land, okay, where can I buy an eSIM or where can I buy an actual SIM? It's a terrible solution. Luckily, there is Saley. Saley is one of the most budget-friendly options for an electronic SIM. I use it every time I travel, and it's genuinely the best product ever. They should be paying me. Oh wait, they are paying me. I'm just kidding. I've already signed up. I put in how much data I need. I will just land and it will...
That was an extremely odd amount of data. He needed 3.48 units of data? What the hell does that even mean?
just work. I don't have to think about it anymore. And that's how it should be, because there's so much to think about when you're traveling. So I love Saley. It removes a huge piece of stress when I'm traveling. And I met a lot of you guys here in Japan that said, oh, I used Saley when I traveled here. And it worked really well. So certifiably works well in Japan. They keep increasing countries, but there's already a ton to pick from. As an online privacy respecting individual, since this is under the Nord company, they have all these privacy respecting features built in, which I appreciate, because I don't really trust all these random eSIM brands showing up, you know what I mean? They have 100% refund, so try it out. And in the checkout, make sure you enter PewDiePie, because then you get 15% off. It's so fun to me just watching money disappear. So take advantage of that deal. That's PewDiePie at checkout. So yeah, download it now and have it ready for your next trip. Thank you, Saley, for being an amazing product and an amazing sponsor that I can proudly stand behind. Scan the QR code on the screen right now and enter the code PewDiePie for 15% off. Another thing I wanted to do with this computer was to run AI.
Okay.
If you have this many GPUs, you at least gotta try running AI on it.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie.
You either are doing Bitcoin or you're doing AI. I did the old Bitcoin mining, by the way. 2013, mined some Bitcoin, locked them all into a wallet. 12 Bitcoin currently in a wallet, currently valued at $1.5 million, just in case I just wanted to, just remember that. Not that I'm salty or anything. Not that I'm upset about that.
It became my next big, I have to max out. What's the biggest model of AI that I can run on this computer? That's what I wanted to find out. And it turns out it's complicated. This computer costs $20,000 roughly. In terms of running AI, that's relatively cheap. That's what I was trying to say. Because the cost for running AI is like, it goes from here to... No, I can't make that joke. The cost for running it.
Damn, that was pretty funny. I can't believe you. I just think that is just too funny.
AI is just
can't do it.
Bonkers. It's stupid. Okay, so what AI did I run? First, we have to make some things crystal clear. I do not F with image generation or video generation. I don't really have that strong of opinion about it, but all the drawing nerds supported me in my drawing video, so I stand by the drawing nerds. As a
By the way, my son, we went and bought him a bunch of these specific markers. He's really getting into drawing. And so when I see this, it does make me pretty stoked. I drew every day for 100 days. I think me and my son are going to have to sit down. Hey, is it? If my son's 11, is he old enough to watch PewDiePie? Me and him sit down and do PewDiePie, draw every day for a year? Or draw every day for 100 days?
But all the drawing nerds supported me in my drawing video, so I stand by the drawing nerds. As a fellow
Yeah, so by the way, speaking of exactly that, if I go to youtube.com, the Primogen Bangers, I've only uploaded one just Suno song because I thought it was funny, but I realize that I don't know if I can do this, you know? Me and TJ were talking about this, and it's just like, there is something kind of odd about using AI to generate some like stupid things, but that also end up using a bunch of that also end up using a bunch of the, you know, whether I like it or not, AI, Google's going to be getting a bunch of AI money off of it, all that kind of stuff. It starts getting kind of weird. You know what I mean? I don't know where the line is, but I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Fellow drawing nerd myself, I genuinely think AI art looks ass. It looks bad. You can tell immediately it's AI generated. And the art that does look cool has been straight up ripped off from another artist. So why not just look up the artist? I don't get it. I can see it being used for the lowest stock image or piece of a background or something, but more than that, I just think it's lame. Second of all, I do feel like I'm in a weird place with this, because I'm gonna yap about AI here, and I
actually fully agree with him. I feel like this is one of those things that I didn't get to talk about it on Lemonade Stand. I know I was on Lemonade Stand, and I wanted to bring up the copyright stuff because I do think it's really horrible how little we like that it's punished. Right here, yeah. It's a first of kind AI infringement lawsuit. Anthropic had to pay $1.5 billion, or approximately $1,000 per book, right? Or around $3,000 for each approximately 500,000 books that were part of the lawsuit. But it just still makes me so upset because Anthropic just stole them and would have tried to get away with it as much as they could. Right? Like their whole goal was to just simply get away with it. If they would have never got caught, they would have just kept on running with it. And they're making billions of dollars off of other people. I don't know how to reason about it yet. I feel very frustrated. Yeah, Meta did it too. Meta did do it too, and it just feels shitty. You know what I mean? It just feels really shitty. And you know what? GitHub's doing it too. I am completely convinced that GitHub is not respecting licenses. I'm not even convinced that GitHub's respecting private nature of repos. Right? I'm not even convinced about that at all. I think GitHub's using all of that stuff to train the autocomplete copilots.
hate people yapping about AI. I genuinely can't stand it. Seeing AI everywhere is so irritating to me. I went to a hotel last month and they were like, we have AI generation integrated in the hotel room. I'm like, great.
What does that even mean? What would I do with, is that porn? Is that what they mean? Is AI generation just, does that just mean porn in the hotel?
Hey, stop. Even here on YouTube, the AI features are so useless.
They are so useless. Oh my gosh. For those that don't have a running YouTube channel, it has this inspiration tab. And I always thought the inspiration tab, I was like, oh, this will be cool, an inspiration tab. Like, what are people that watch my videos, watch other videos? What do they watch? What could you generate up? Like, what could you point to saying, hey, these things are kind of popular. Here's what's popping off, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's just really crappy. It's like, if I had the most mid-level IQ, it's the videos I would make. Top 10 reasons to try C++ in 2026. It's just like, dude, I don't want to make that video. I don't want to make it. Stop suggesting it. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. Can we just stop with that?
It's just become the hot next buzzword, and it's very annoying. But on the other hand, the people that just hate AI are equally centrist take coming. They're all bad. And I'm just kidding, but it's like, I don't know if you heard Markiplier got canceled because he used AI. Please don't, please don't.
What is Markiplier? A gaming YouTuber? Because he used... See, again, I also don't care about that. I don't know what all these E's are, but I assume this is something to do with whatever he does.
Cancel me, please. If anyone watches Markiplier, click away the video right now. It's not gonna be good. No, but from trying to self-host AI, I realized just how much misinformation there is about AI, especially because I didn't know anything about it. So, without further ado, what model can I...
Oh, by the way, who are the people that are the worst with misinformation? Anthropic and OpenAI CEO. They're literally like, I think we would have 1/10 of the problems if CEOs who are running AI companies were not allowed to tweet. Like literally just that. If you run an AI company and you tweeted something about AI and somehow your tweet just got deleted, I think we would be having such less problems with all of it.
Well, I asked AI itself. I went straight to the source. I was like, what model can I run? It goes,
oh, you can run some big ones on 160.
Llama 70B. And I was like, cool. It runs. It's not bad, but I didn't really go like, wow.
Would you have to quantize that model as 70B? What is it again? How do you do the maths? I used to know how to do the maths. When you have 70B, how many bytes do you need with 70B? 70B runs just fine, right? Because 70B actually fills in, because he had 160, so therefore 70 is 140, right? So he would technically be able to do 70B with no problem, right?
I want to go, you know? I want to feel like, whoa, look at the beast computer, beast AI. I didn't get that opinion. If anything, I was like, that was surprisingly easy. I think I can run this on 4 GPUs, actually. Lo and behold, it runs on 4 GPUs. I have not maxed out at all. What am I going to do? Have them talk to each other? Then I get it running on 2 GPUs. What am I going to do with that? Give them a little tea party?
I'm personally convinced, again, I've said this many times. And I'm going to say it, gosh dang it, we're saying it again. I like to think of AI like the weather. If you were to tell me right here what the weather is, what's the current weather, you're precise. But as you get further and further out, the error of the weather gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I think the exact same thing with AI, which is just like, if I ask for autocomplete of the current line I'm working on, the likelihood that it's complete or that it's correct and complete is really, really, really near 100%. But if I ask it to go generate some stuff, depending on the level of context that I can write, which by the way, I'm a bad reader / writer, it just gets further and further off the, it just keeps on gaining more and more error as it goes. So you don't need something super strong. Like,
I want to max out. Can a guy max out? It's the fattest stack of AI I can slap on this thing. Because it ain't 70B, I tell you.
That's
so
right.
I mathed the math. I was like 120 billion. For those of you who don't know, every model comes in different sizes. Bigger model generally means better, but not at all a rule. Don't listen to that. But I knew the biggest model I can run was 120 billion per.
Oh, isn't the quality of the model also based on the quality of the data? So just because you have big model don't mean you got good quality data. Like, isn't that the whole problem? Yeah, you 8-bit it, right? So 120B, you can 8-bit it, but you still have this whole. So that's why I'm very curious. Like, can you make? So this is actually one of the projects I was in the middle of doing. Okay, I'm going to show it to you for just a quick second. I'm actually I'm still excited about it. I was doing it last week before I went on vacation. LS personal. Hold on. It's called How to Talk to a Girl. Okay, guys, that's not what it looks like. That's what it's called. Maybe this works. But I was in the process. Yeah, look at this. I was in the process of creating these Lua parquets where I'd go through and I'd grab data from I'd grab data from GitHub, make sure it's MIT licensed, and then I'd store all the files and try to create like a fully MIT'd Lua autocomplete. Because I wanted to try to create what is like a what's it called? I'm trying to this idea of an ethical AI. Can you create a ethical AI? One that is at least people have volunteered to give out the code and you take the code and use it.
Parameters. 120B doesn't exist. Nothing Nada. And I know what you're thinking, Felix, there is. Yes, because as I was complaining about it, OpenAI, ChatGPT, finally lived to their name and released an open source model like everyone else has already done. And guess what?
Wait, does Anthropic have an open source model? I don't think Anthropic has an open source model. Yeah, so not everybody, Felix, okay? Felix, not everybody has an open source model. The one that's always claiming everything about safety, the one that immediately jumped on Sam Altman being fired and immediately went into talks about taking over OpenAI. That's right. They're the ones that did not, in fact, release open source.
120 billion parameters. I couldn't believe it. The timing was just insane. And I ran it and I was like, oh, I did the thing. I was like, ah. It feels exactly like ChatGPT, but it's fast as. It's so.
The glories of no reasoning. You know, we live in a world now where the only ways to make AI feel like it's actually doing better is that everything has to reason. Which, I mean, I understand the reasons why. We're trying to push it to be more accurate, and reasoning obviously helps. Man, AI without reasoning is so fast. You like forget about what it feels like. You're like, oh shit, that feels fast. What happened? What happened to my life? Why am I using this other crap?
So fast. I can't read that fast. Can you read that fast? It's crazy. So I was like, I did it. I maxed out. But I think I can get it running on 4 GPUs. You see, to deploy AI, I use VLLM. You can do different things.
Nice. Okay.
I use VLLM, which means I have to stare
I used VLLM for quite some time until I switched to Olama when I was doing the autocomplete.
at the VLLM loading screen. Running AI, everyone's hardware is going to be different and differently optimized. So you need to have like a little cookbook that you set of different parameters before you fire off that thing. And it takes a while for it to load up. And I've been staring at that loading for too long. I swear I understand what the incomprehensible reading text means without being able to read it. That will never run. But then when it does run, it's like, wow. I go, ah! Sorry, I need to stop doing that. But I realized I could probably run this model on 4 GPUs. Lo and behold, ChatOS runs on 4 GPUs. I'm like, I should be happy, right? But I'm not, because I want to max out. Can a guy just max out? Is that too much to ask? So if you math the math, I should be able to run a 240 billion parameter model. I should. And you know what? There is.
He has to, right? But he has to drop it. He's at 140. He said he's at 160. So he has to do what? Yeah, so he has to go to 0.6. So he has to go to 6 quantization. Or not 6. What would that be? That'd be 6, that'd be 5. He has to go to approximately 5.
Gwen 235B. But there's 2 problems.
Damn, Gwen
Number 1, I tried it
235B.
and it never fucking runs. Number 2, even if I do get it running, I don't have enough memory to actually use it. I could maybe fart at it at best and it would die instantly. Maybe a little squeak back. I don't know if I'm lucky. But I thought, hell, for the sake of the memes, let's max out and get this thing running. And finally, it runs.
Yeah, because even if you went to FP sub, he could store everything in both VRAM and RAM and technically get something out fully using his machine.
Oh. Let's go.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, yes, I did it. Finally. I had to set this thing so it spreads out equally. I don't know if you knew that. So now you know that. To me, this felt like a huge win, but I decided to keep trying. I was like, okay, maybe I can load it with more tokens. So I double it and it runs. I was like, okay, nice. Now I can maybe sneeze at it. Maybe I could even do a little wave. Like, it's not practical is what I'm saying. But I double it again and it loads. I double it. It goes to 16,000, 32,000, 64,000. I get to 100,000 tokens on this bitch, which is practically a book. Like, amazing. I can actually run and use this model. 235 billion. Yeah. Chinese AI strikes again. This should not be possible. I remember I was troubleshooting this with another AI and it kept going, stop. It's not gonna work. Stop. And I'm like, shut up. We're testing it out. Basically, it was just an optimized quant, if you must know. So thank you. Okay, but then another plot twist. As soon as I ran this model, that's when I realized I wish I never run this model. Too much power. I'm not even joking. I've been learning how to program as part of my tech journey. And then I saw this thing programmed locally offline on my computer. My soul just left my body. I was like, well, there goes that ambition. I'm just kidding, by the way. I still think it's an amazing skill to learn, and I've been enjoying it so.
Damn, you know what's crazy is that PewDiePie, okay, hold on. We're doing this. We're going to do this for a second. Okay, that guy right there. That guy right there that we just watched has a more reasonable take than like 95% of tech Twitter right now. Like, what is this world we are living in? That's crazy. This is so wild that he just said, hey, no, it's actually a worthwhile skill to learn. It is a worthwhile skill to learn, even if you think AI is going to program for you. Holy cow. Just do that. You know what I was doing? Like, because I don't know this crap, right? Like, I don't know Python. So you know what I did? Is I created my API that I thought would be good, and then I had it generate, what's it called? Then I had it generate each one of the internals to the functions, because I don't know any of the things. I don't know how to use it. I don't know anything about Pythons. And then a lot of it was wrong. I still had to go through in a language I've never seen in my life effectively and make it work.
So much, because it's like, it takes up so much focus of your brain. But I also find it really cool to see your own computer write code for you. When you host AI on your own, it's not going to be able to do anything. It doesn't have search, it doesn't have memory, it doesn't have any functions whatsoever. You can just talk to it. So I started giving it all these features, but I made itself give those features. I was like, Marzia, check this out, Marzia. The machine is making the machine. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. Okay, welcome to my tutorial. No one has so far made it through.
There's a lot of people watching this, and you feel encouraged to pursue things. When I built Cockpit, guess what? I just wanted autocomplete. I wanted to autocomplete once from an LLM. I wanted to build the reverse proxy. I wanted the reverse proxy from a machine onto my TinyGrad, make it all happen, get the results back out, and send it all the way down to my LLM. And I did that. And I made a sweet pattern, a pipeline pattern in Lua, and it felt great. And I could add all these nodes in here, such as get the stake, get the tree sitter, get the LSP stuff, make the request, actually do the request, save the query off, display the node, add virtual text, and it all worked. It was awesome. And then I was done. I didn't go off and turn this product into some paid-for product. I just wanted to learn, because it was awesome.
No one has so far made it through the entire demo. So a true testimony to your attention span. This is like the meme of like, my buddy's gonna show you this, you have to pretend you like it. PewDiePie's gonna show his web UI, you have to pretend you like it. First of all, it has toggle sidebar. Check this out. It toggles. And look, toggles here too. Now
they call that a hamburger menu, which, by the way, I hate. I just hate that term. Okay, when somebody says hamburger menu, I get upset. I actually get upset with that term.
if I want to talk to AI, I go, hi. It's really fucking fast. Like, damn. 216 tokens per second. It has audio as well.
That is
Sure,
fast.
here's a joke for you. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make things up.
Haha. So I started adding more features to the AI just to test it out. And because there are other
Comedy
options that you can self-host that are really good, but it was easier and quicker to just do it myself because it was so capable. And it looked more epic hackery because it matched my aesthetic on my computer. But then I started adding, you know, all these things like search and memory and RAG. And I was like, damn, this is getting good. You can cite your search in this, and these are all privacy respecting and have free options, which I think is really, really important. If you ask this AI, it calls me Felix Schürke, often abbreviated as Felix Schauber. It just makes up a bunch of information, but you give it search, and it's really accurate. I got really into building this web UI. I would love to share it for other people to use it because I want the principle of it to be private and being capable of running for free. A lot of times with self-hosting,
I know what he's trying to say, though. He is trying to say it's privacy. It's his computer. He did buy it. He did construct it. He constructed every last bit of it. He put it all together. He made it up. He got everything up and running. Then he was able to get all the Jippity U's on, and then bam. He even got solar power sucking them sun energies for free. Like, it's free as in freedom.
They just want you to put API on everything. It drives me insane. If I have to watch one more YouTube video of an AI dude bro going, hey, okay guys, I'm just gonna waste your time giving a bunch of outdated information, and then we're gonna put your API here, and then another API here. You can't just API your way out of everything. How about you solve some problems for yourself? So instead, I stole some code from a Chinese laboratory, and now my AI has deep research. It's okay to steal from China, because China steals from you.
I have never agreed with the statement more in my lifetime. Right?
The way research works is that it keeps expanding its knowledge based on what it finds. So it goes through different rounds and analyzes what it got, and based on that, it either keeps exploring different forks, which I think is really cool. I was really proud of it, but I wish I added more feedback of what is going on while it searches, because it's kind of boring to look at. I can set how long I want it to search as well, which I think is really cool. I could demo my web UI all day. I gave it so many cool things. I can summarize YouTube videos just like YouTube can, except it's actually useful. But the biggest reason why you should self-host AI, put your lip to the camera and go blah, 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 and go blah, 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 blah. The biggest reason is because of memory. AI has memory, right? You probably noticed if you use ChatGPT. It remembers stuff about you, and a lot of times when I used it in the past, it catches me off guard. I'm like, wait a minute, how do you know that? Oh, I told you that. That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, I still don't want you to know that. Delete. And I heard friends talk about this too, like, oh, yeah, I use incognito mode, or I'm careful.
Which, by the way, like, I mean, the amount of data that ChatGPT has and the things that it's communicated, it has one of the single most powerful ad networks that are going to be built ever. Not only do they know what you've asked, they know what you've dwelled on, and then on top of it, they have a single model. They have a unified model, meaning that they can generate images and video from stuff. They're going to literally be able to take all that information and hand generate artisanal ad videos for you based on your own history, based on everything that you get to enjoy. ChatGPT ain't going to be fixing cancer anytime soon, okay? I know Sam Altman said he's in it for the love of the game and the betterment of humanity, but let's just be real. Even Microsoft is like, we're not going to allow erotica, and Sam's like, yeah, we're going to allow erotica. We're doing erotica. We're going to be doing Sora for slop shorts, and boom, we're going to be doing ads. You know he's going to be doing ads. I know it. Within the year, I am going to say it on camera. Within the year, we're going to have ads from ChatGPT.
Yeah, because I don't want them to know all this stuff. I delete all the chats to make sure it's gone. Do you think deleting the chat deletes the chat? Were you on?
Yes? I thought deleting means to remove. Wait, hold on. You're telling me that when you delete something, they set a flag?
Under the impression? Oh, I'm sorry. You were under the impression. No. Go to this link right now. That's where you have to go to delete your data. I discovered this by mistake because I was trying to just cancel my subscription because I didn't need it anymore. But I was like, oh, so they collect your data and train on your data, even if you deleted it. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. And that's the whole point. With my de-Googling video, I really fell down these two rabbit holes of online privacy, ironically, I know. And self-hosting AI in the middle, it just makes sense. Here's the best example.
He is 100% correct, by the way. The only, like, Apple products, as Apple's pushing more and more AI into their phone, you're not having privacy. Like, you must understand that all of the big companies are racing towards edge AI compute. And all of them are going to be using that as weaponized advertisement creation. There's no privacy here. They're going to be selling that crap. They're going to be sharing that crap. You're gonna get leaks. It's gonna be dude. It's just the worst. I'm reading this book. I'm trying to figure out how to like calm my heart in today's world, and so I'm reading The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. This book, and I was reading it last night, and it says, reminder, your phone doesn't actually work for you. You pay for it, yes, but it works for a multi-billion-dollar corporation in California, not for you. You're not the customer. You are the product. It's your attention that's for sale, along with your peace of mind.
Take in the middle, it just makes sense. Here's the best example I can make, because I had taken all the Google information that they had on me and I had given it to my own AI with the RAG capabilities, which is fast retrieval of data locally on your computer. Sounds super boring, but it's actually really, really cool. And I
have never actually ragged anything or looked into it. Do you just like tokenize data and store it into some sort of database? You just like use SQLite and store a bunch of data that it can effectively go or vectorize. And I don't even know what it means to vectorize. And it allows for some sort of retrieval that makes sense.
Forgotten I had given it to it. So I was testing out random queries and I was like, who am I? And it goes, oh, you're Felix Schellberg. Oh, you're PewDiePie. This is your address. And here's your phone number. I'm like, ah! I mentioned RAG earlier, so I can ask, who is Marcia? And we will have to blur that, but it shows her phone number. And it did it in 0.37 seconds. And again, it was like, oh, I told it that. And it's my data on my computer. It's okay. It's okay. But I think that's the point. Like, there's something weird about AI knowing stuff about you. Even though Google has been doing the exact same thing forever. Just when you hear it back from AI, you're like, oh, this is weird. I don't like this. This doesn't feel good. But the best part is you can really fuck around. You know how people say thank you to AI in case AI becomes sentient and they will spare you? Well, let's just say I will be the first one eaten by the basilisk, okay?
Shut the fuck up. No one cares about your robot fan fiction. Know your fucking place, trash. Fucking robots. Don't give a fuck about no robots. They ain't got no soul.
Okay, let me ask you one thing.
What? What was that? What was that video?
If you look up stuff online, how do you do that? Do not say you Google Schmoogler. Or you use ChatGPT to look that up. Me, I consult my council, my councilman. I created my council. I have 8 GPUs that can run this.
I love the Halo theme song so much that I could listen to it for like hours.
Same model. Each one of them is a different council member with different personalities. So it's a democratic process. I consult my council, they all give me an answer, and then they vote. Democracy. Let's test out council. All right, we got a response. Snippet. Okay. Yeah, now they should
Whoa, my name's in their prime.
vote. There we go. They've all voted. Oracle Maximum won. He's a new one. Okay. And they give me the best answer. My councilmen serve me. But there was a big problem with this. Because only a couple council members were actually useful. The rest were just garbage. No one ever voted for them. Trash. So of course, I had to kill them and replace them with new ones. So I made a system that automatically generates new ones, different ones. So it's constantly improving.
And you guys were all worried about AI taking your job. When it turns out, PewDiePie was going to take your job. Evidently smarter than all of us. Evidently smarter than all of us. That sucks.
But then I thought I could double win this and make sure that they know, really make sure that they know if they don't perform in the council, they're dead, gone. SQL database wiped forever. You mean nothing to me. This was a terrible idea. Because I was reading the logs of their voting process and they go,
I would just assume that they would only vote for themselves. Like if you gave them like this idea that they'll be deleted if they don't get enough votes, just if LLMs are just kind of like soft statistical predictions of what humans would to do, theoretically, they would vote for themselves, wouldn't it?
what is this sick game that someone came up with? I was like, what do you... It's not that sick. I'm not sick, what do you mean? How dare they speak of the counselor?
Wait, hold on.
Sick. Because I was reading the logs of their voting process and they go, what is this sick game that someone came up with? I was like, what do you... It's not that sick. I'm not sick, what do you mean? How dare they speak of the counselor leader like that? And the worst part, they colluded against me. They started voting strategically, helping each other even. Betrayed by my own council. I wiped it. I didn't actually do that. I just changed the model to a dumber one and problem solved. It's been really fun to create dumb stuff like that.
That's actually really amazing. I'm actually shocked that they work together. Right, like I'm shocked that they were able to work together and it didn't end with them doing honestly the opposite. I'm shocked that it did, because it is supposed to, I mean, this is just proof that it really, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. LLMs do not reflect human behavior. This is not human behavior. Okay? We all know what happens, okay? Everybody ends up hating that one council member, and what do you start doing? Did it instantly devolve into politics every single time? And this one didn't. The robots are strong together.
Made the swarm, which prompts every single one of them at the same time, because I realize I'm an idiot. I don't have to run one AI per GPU. I can run many AI on one GPU. I don't know why that took me so fucking long to realize. And I realized I can run 64 AI in total. 64 at once, my own army. I tested this out, and again, terrible idea.
Oh, the lag. Oh no. What happened?
It doesn't lag at all. It's just that my web UI, it can't handle it. So what can you do? But
Yeah,
I realized two things about this. Again,
it looks like he has some crappy virtual scroll, right? There's some sort of virtual scrollers are insane. And this is what it looks like.
and two things I realized that are really cool. One, it's amazing at data collection, which I will use for my next thing. I'm making my own AI. I'm making an orb, my own Palantir. I was hoping to share it by the end of this video, but it takes a long time, so. The second thing, I was running these tiny models, 2B, only 2 billion parameters. You could probably run this. I think most computers can probably run this. You could run it on your phone, although it'll be very slow. But I realized smaller models are amazing. They're really dumb because they don't have any information stored on them. So they start
and remember, you go even smaller, like 600M, and the amount of free data out there that is publicly available, not only publicly available, but like public domain, you could train and probably get near the chinchilla token amount. Yes, the chinchilla token amount, which makes it so that you could actually build an AI that's not built with these shitty people and their shitty policies, pretending to be really good people, pretending to be like, oh, we're the savior and arbiters of the universe, but also
hallucinating and coming up with gibberish. But literally, you just give them search and boom, it adds a nanosecond to the query and that's it because they're so fast. You give them RAG and you have an amazing tool for fast information. I feel like that's what I think AI is good for. That's what I want to use it for. And that's when it hit me, like, you don't need this beast computer to run AI at all. It's all about the tool set you give it. Obviously, a model like that, it's not going to be able to code or do reasoning, like difficult questions and stuff like that. But there are smaller models that can still do those and perform really well as well, that are community made, which is really, really cool. Like, people are constantly making new models. To me, it's always fun to just test them out. I realized I like running AI more than using AI. With this computer, what I realized is it's amazing.
That's based, by the way. That's based. It's not true. Well, I mean, it depends on the question set, right? So on a smaller model, you obviously, because remember, if you really think about AI, AI is not, it's not some sort of intelligence. It's a compression algorithm. That's all it is. It's just compression goodness. So if you have a smaller model, you can only compress so much data. It makes sense. Use a small model, but use it on a precise problem. I don't think you need a ton of stuff. I'm not convinced that you need a 1 trillion parameter model. That's only useful if you're trying to make it to do everything.
I'm working on my own own model. It's going to be a full fine tune, but it takes a long time to do this, and I'm hoping to share that next month so you guys can try and self-host that one. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching.
I loved it. Please give me G Fuel.
Okay, so my laptop, my Steam Deck, my phone, my desktop, what are they all having?
What the hell?
Laptop, my Steam Deck, my phone, my desktop.
When did this start looking like that? That looks way better. That's not what it looked like to begin with. That looks real good. And he's obviously traded out some yippities right there.
Desktop, what do they all have in common?
They're electronic power.
NordVPN. As someone who desperately tries to not have subscription services, I still 100% stand by NordVPN being an amazing product, and here's why. Listen up, buddy. You need to use a VPN if you're connecting to the internet. Otherwise, everyone can see what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying
That's not technically true. Not everybody can see what you're doing. Okay? Unless if you're on HTTP, it's not even allowed on Chrome. You can't even like Chrome easily on HTTP.
I'm gonna download illegal Minecraft mods. But if I do, that's my goddamn business. You hear me? Actually, a friend of mine in Japan was visited by the police because they saw that he was torrenting, which is insane. Internet service providers know everything you're doing, unless you use a VPN. So please do yourself a favor and get one. And if you don't care about privacy, it also keeps you safe online, protecting you from all these different attacks. Another example, a friend of mine got hacked because of a man-in-the-middle attack. If he had used NordVPN, this would not have happened. These things happen and they're extremely stressful and frustrating, and they shouldn't happen. So just do like me, always connect to a VPN. I made it here in my Waybar, and that way you know you're safe. The third reason, of course, is that
I like that in Waybar you write CSS. Doesn't that make you feel good that you write CSS?
it opens up the entirety of the internet, as it should be. I recently did a sort of an audit of the sponsorships I've been doing, and even though I keep memeing on subscription services, I don't know how else they would possibly provide a service like this. So I fully stand behind this product. I've been using it myself for years and paying it myself.
By the way, I do agree with everything you said. If this is a reasonable subscription service to have. And I'm not claiming NordVPN is the thing to do, but you couldn't provide a VPN without some sort of monthly payment. Okay, I understand.
For years. And I think it's an important product for the integrity of the internet. So thank you NordVPN for being an amazing product and an amazing sponsor. If you haven't already, check out the link in the description.
If you use the link nordvpn.com/PewDiePie, you get a huge bonus, an additional 4 months for free.
Check it out, a 30-day money-back guarantee. And they also have a collab with Marvel. I'm not entirely sure why yet, but it looks pretty cool. It's the most random thing.
Avengers! NordVPN plus Avengers! #1 custom branded content. What? I agree. What does this even mean?
But check it out. Link in the description. Thank you, NordVPN.
What does that even mean? Oh man, I loved that video. I loved everything about that video. That video was fantastic. Holy cow. Holy cow. I love watching his stuff. I'd never watched any of his previous stuff other than the Ninja Died of Ligma 2016. Like, that was the only video I've ever watched of PewDiePie until his tech journey. I love his tech journey. It is so good. PewDiePie on the stand-up? I want PewDiePie on the stand-up. I don't know how to get a hold of PewDiePie. We're going to attempt to figure this out. And we're going to go and email him. The name is the Primogen.